Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring the Weird Frontiers role-playing game. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this dungeon crawl classic style Weird West RPG, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the Judges Rules section. This is a great section, very thematic, very flavorful. You have a series of oaths of the judge, such as I shall always try to be on the posse's side of the fence, which means I allow the roll of the bones to decide the sometimes cruel fate of the posse or those that cross their path. It also says, this book will serve me well at keeping the law, and will serve me as a guide that'll help keep the posse riding the trail as best they can. That being said, there will come a day when this book is not going to be enough, and I'll have to make a decision that hangs the fate of my posse on my own good merits. You have information on the current state of the setting of the land. You have details on getting around and communication, using horseback, the wagon train, steamboats. The land features concerning plains, mountains, ocean, it is all covered here. The prairie, the desert, the canyons, the wetlands. Details concerning the life on the frontier. The USA map location notes concerning California, Georgia, the Indian territories, all of them. You have details on Louisiana, Kentucky. There are even town and environmental generation tables. To come up with your own terrain, you have base terrain tables, bodies of water, natural landmarks, human-made and weird landmarks as well, such as standing stones, a totem pole, a weird waterfall, perhaps even a ghost ship, a soul storm, an animated tornado. You also have details on various towns, the boom towns, the cattle towns, the ghost towns, the hog ranches. You have details on trading posts, rail towns, and details on the contents of such towns. The average population, the typical law, the sheriffs, the town marshals, the presence of the US Army, private law enforcement, bounty hunters, vigilantes. Details on points of interest such as the banks, the boarding houses, the barber shops, the cattle yards, the dance halls, the gambling parlors. And you have a random town generator with tables covering everything. The type of town, the average population, the typical law. You can also generate non-player characters for your town, featuring tables to generate their age, their wealth, their hairstyle, their height, their weight, their hair color, their background, their appearance quirks, their mental and personality quirks as well. You even have a sample city, Ash Bluff. I am going to be avoiding spoilers, but suffice to say, the town is completely fleshed out. There are even non-player characters and adventure seats. You also have details on the worlds outside of worlds, such as the spirit world, crossing the veil, the near, the far. How you travel through such places in the far, for example. How combat proceeds in the spirit world. Death in the land of the dead, what happens when you die over there. There are also ghostly towns and landmarks across the veil. Details on other perceptions of the spirit world, with a table covering anger, excitement, fear, guilt. There is also information on discovering magic, learning new spells, or even creating your own. And you have plenty of dark patrons, such as Cthulhu, the mother of all slugs, snails, and worms. You have the invoke patron results, as well as patron taint results, spell burn results, and even patron spells. There are plenty of them. There is even Shub Nigorath. If you wanted to have Shub Nigorath as your patron, well, here she is. And as expected, you also have dark patrons from my own country, Mexico, with Tezcatlipoca, one of the central figures in the Aztec religion. Tezcatlipoca is the god of the night sky, god of ancestral memory, god of time, the lord of the north, and another face of Nyarlathotep in this setting. You also have details on miracles and information on how to use any sort of rule, any sort of thematic element from Dungeon Crawl Classics, Mutant Crawl Classics, and of course, Weird Frontiers between any of those systems. So you can mix and match. You can take some classes from Weird Frontiers and use them in Mutant Crawl Classics. Or maybe you want to use some spells from Dungeon Crawl Classics and use them in Weird Frontiers. You can take non-player characters, monsters, hazards, any effect, and mix and match as you please. There is even a carousing table. What events occur? Perhaps your most recent mission has caught the attention of a neighboring band of twisted cultists who know it's only a matter of time before you start meddling in their dirty dealings. Or maybe after a night out in the town, one of the locals slipped you a little something extra in your whiskey, and you wake up to the earth-shattering sound of the locomotive horn that's currently bearing down on you. Or maybe you stumble upon some horse rustlers that have just made off with several horses from a local ranch. There are also tips on how to handle experience points and level advancement. If you want to speed things up, for example, all of the details are contained here. There are also details on luck, the modifiers, the luck checks, the heroic efforts. You also have a luck as reward table. Perhaps succeeding at tasks that benefit higher powers, whether directly or not, often results in a reward to reflect the gratitude of the entity benefiting from the deed. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about magic items. This Judge's Rules section is pretty much perfect. It is so complete. Everything concerning the setting, the mechanics, the theme, it is all covered here for an infinity of campaigns, of pseudo-historical weird adventures. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. This has been Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. If you want me to run a game for you, please check out the pinned comment below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and see you later.